Right now at noon, the father who drowned in the Wisconsin River over the weekend has been identified. And President Trump doubles down after telling a group of Democratic women to go back to their country, why they say his tweets are racist.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Monday afternoon. Hope you all had a nice weekend. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us today with a look at our first alert forecast. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Mark. It's a steamy one out there. The humidity levels are high. It's been enough cloud cover to keep our temperatures down just a little bit. We might not hit the 90-degree mark, but we'll be close. You can see on Doppler track there are a few scattered showers and thunderstorms through parts of central Wisconsin, but across our viewing area, they've made it through Juneau and Adams counties and then have pretty much moved out. So outside of a chance of a shower or thunderstorm north of Madison, things should stay pretty quiet for this afternoon. Temperatures have warmed up to the lower 80s here in Madison, but notice Janesville is at 86, La Crosse is at 87. So areas that are getting a little more sunshine are a little bit warmer. Those dew point temperatures in the 70s now, so it's very stifling out there. Feels like 87 in Madison, feels like it's 94 already in La Crosse and 90 in Boscobel. Look for skies to be partly sunny this afternoon. It'll be very warm and humid. Just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm north of Madison with a high of 89. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
All right, stay cool if you can. We'll see you in a few minutes, Gary. Thank you. Sauk County officials have identified the 53-year-old man who drowned while trying to save his children on the Wisconsin River over the weekend. The Sauk County Sheriff's Office says the body of Koo Her was found in the Wisconsin River between Mazomanie and Arena, 10 miles downstream from the Prairie du Sac Dam. Her went missing at the dam on Saturday. Officials say Her's 3 children were wearing life jackets when they swam out too far on the Wisconsin River, and Her swam out to try to bring them in. The children and Her's wife were able to return safely, but he never resurfaced. The Sauk County Coroner's Office said no foul play was suspected, and the man's death has been ruled an accidental drowning. A Fond du Lac man was killed Sunday afternoon in a motorcycle crash in Marquette County. The crash happened near the town of Montello around 1:20. A vehicle driving on northbound Highway 22 slowed down for a vehicle turning onto Highway XX. The vehicle was hit from behind by the motorcycle. The motorcycle rider has been identified as 59-year-old Robin Schwartz. He was not wearing a helmet and died from his injuries. The crash still remains under investigation. Former Republican Governor Scott Walker is joining the staff of a conservative student organization. The Young America's Foundation announced Walker would serve as president of the group today. The YAF website says Walker had been involved in the group during his time as governor. His wife, Tonette, also serves on the group's Reagan Ranch Board of Directors. Walker says that the job as president of the YAF will prevent him from running for governor or U.S. Senate in 2022. He starts his new job on February 1st, 2021. President Trump is lashing out at a group of Democratic members of Congress in a series of tweets this morning. Those follow a tweet over the weekend that some are calling racist. He targeted a group of Democratic lawmakers saying they should go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came. The president was apparently referencing 4 female House freshmen. All 4 are U.S. citizens. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez responded, telling 4 American congresswomen of color, "Go back to your own country," is hallmark language of white supremacists. The president claims the women are anti-Israel and tweeted they should apologize to Israel and him for the foul language they've used. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is moving to end asylum protection for most Central American migrants. A rule published Monday bars migrants from seeking asylum in the United States if they've traveled through another country first. Tens of thousands of migrant families from Central America travel through Mexico to the U.S. each month, many claiming asylum. The Trump administration claims families are taking advantage of legal loopholes it says allows migrants a free pass to the country while they wait out phony asylum requests. The rule is almost certain to face a legal challenge. Multimillionaire Jeffrey Epstein will have to wait to find out if he will make bail in his sex trafficking case. A federal judge said today he has not decided if Epstein deserves bail. Epstein's accused of recruiting and abusing dozens of underage girls in his $77 million New York mansion and his Florida home in the early 2000s. According to the incident unsealed last week, in order to maintain and increase his supply of victims, Epstein also paid victims to recruit additional girls.
The girls were recruited in a variety of ways, usually by employees of Epstein and sometimes by fellow victims.
The judge is expected to make his decision on Thursday. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you've tucked away your slow cooker for the summer, it's time to dig it out, because we have the perfect summertime recipe waiting for you. We're smack dab in the middle of summer, and that means the last thing we probably want is to heat up our kitchen by turning on our oven. Yet, that doesn't mean we're willing to eat salads and sandwiches until the weather cools down. So I recommend that you dig out your slow cooker. You see, it delivers a hot and hearty meal without warming up your kitchen. We start by searing a few thick, bone-in pork chops that we've seasoned with some salt, pepper, and garlic. While those finish up, we place some potatoes and onions that we sliced into our slow cooker and top them with some barbecue sauce. Our pork chops go on top of this, arranging them so they cook evenly, and we top them with even more barbecue sauce. We cover this and set it on high for 3 to 4 hours, or on low for 7 to 8, and you're free to go about your day. When it's dinner time, all you have to do is dish up everything, and dinner is served. Juicy? Yes. All in one? Yes. All without heating up your kitchen? Yes. So if you want the perfect recipe for the dog days of summer, all you have to do is go to our website and look for barbecue pork chops and potatoes. It's that easy. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an all-in-one way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Ahead on News 3 Now at noon, alert days in the forecast from now through Sunday for the heat and humidity. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti will have your first alert forecast when we come back.
The 48th Annual
Our Call for Action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues. You can call the hotline. Volunteers will help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The surface open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials down almost 30 points. The NASDAQ down 3. The S&P 500 down almost 4. Let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee, who's in the air-conditioned radio suite.
That's right, and hanging on to it for dear life this week, I think. Yeah, it's going to be rugged, and actually the markets are talking about this weather market. It's not just about the extreme heat that we're going to experience this week in Wisconsin and the upper Midwest. It's about the follow-through of Hurricane Barry all along the southeast and the torrential rains that were brought in after more flooding that had already been compounded from this spring. So our barge traffic all up and down the Mississippi River again is back to disrupted, shut down in many areas. This means that we're also not going to get any of those international container ships on their way to destinations beyond. So the markets today are taking a big hit on the down. The other thing you have to remember is this heat is really not going to benefit our crops that much. Usually when the heat gets over about the mid to upper 80s, the plant just shuts down to try to conserve and save itself. So those cornfields that are so delinquent on development already are going to just kind of hold on to whatever moisture they can once the temperature starts getting above like 88 degrees. I also noticed this weekend when I was driving around with county fair activity, there's a lot of fields that are planted on sand that are already dry. Some folks already starting to irrigate. And boy, now you bring on this heat with no moisture, and those fields are going to start to wrap up pretty tight. So the agronomists out there are paying attention to that situation for sure. One good thing, so far we have seen no development of tar spot, which was a nasty, nasty attack that hit our cornfields last year. So far, nothing on that. Barrel cheese today down 2 3/4 cents in Chicago at 171 1/4. 40-pound block cheese down 2 1/4, 176 1/4. The AA butter finishes up 1 3/4 today at $2.43 a pound. I should be doing ice cream futures. I bet they went up today.
Absolutely. So you're on the road this week?
Yeah, I'll be up in St. Paul at a big dairy conference for most of this week. Then back with you on Friday, right in time for the Dane County Fair Youth Livestock Auction and my Farm Babe Boogie Tractor Parade Saturday, too.
It's going to be
that goes rain or shine.
Going to be a hot one, that's for sure.
Yes.
All right. Safe travels. We'll see you on Friday.
All right. Sounds good.
Gary's here now with a look at our first alert forecast, and it's hot out there.
It's hot, and it's going to stay hot. We have alert days in the forecast all the way through Sunday of next week. It now looks like Thursday and Friday, rather than Friday and Saturday, will be the hottest days. There might be a cold front that arrives late in the day on Saturday, maybe trigger a couple of thunderstorms that could keep us from reaching the mid-90s, but we should certainly hit the lower 90s for tomorrow all the way through Saturday and Sunday. But Thursday and Friday, high temperatures in the mid-90s could bring heat index values into the 105 to 107 degree range late in the afternoon. There have been a couple of sprinkles and a couple of thunderstorms in the far northern parts of our viewing area. Those have pretty much gone away. The atmosphere is expanding, so when you get warm temperatures aloft, that just keeps the air currents from rising into thunderstorms, and it kind of acts as a lid on the atmosphere. So that's why we're seeing these showers and storms fizzling out here. These showers and storms are actually with a warm front, which has increased the humidity across much of the Midwest. Now, there'll be some more thunderstorms later on this afternoon into tonight. Storm Prediction Center does have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms through much of northern Wisconsin, and a marginal risk about as far south as around Toma to the Fox Valley. But at this point, I think the thunderstorm chances across our viewing area are going to be very small. Now, tomorrow, there's also a marginal risk for areas north and west of Madison. This will be mainly tomorrow night if storms can develop in the Dakotas and then move eastward. That's not a given. We'll probably see some thunderstorms later on tomorrow night. By that time, they may be weakening to the point where they'd be below severe limits. Strong winds and heavy rain would be the main threats. Heat, though, take a look at this. This is Future Track Heat Index at 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. Triple-digit heat across southern Wisconsin. Same thing for Friday. Again, triple-digit heat indices expected across much of southern Wisconsin. And even on Saturday, we should make the middle 90s. Should we get thunderstorms later in the day or at night rather than late in the afternoon, we could see triple-digit heat again in the heat index range on Saturday. Live here from the Quebe Radio Skycam in Platteville, there's been more sunshine south of Madison today, so those temperatures have been a little bit warmer. The WISC Skycam, for the most part, has been showing a little more cloud cover, but now we're starting to see some patches of blue showing up. So it's that cloud cover that's held temperatures down a bit this afternoon. The Edgewater sky cam in downtown Madison showing that hazy sunshine starting to work its way through. As we check out our current conditions, we're at 83 degrees right now in Madison. The dew point is at 70. The humidity is at 65%. It is steamy out there. Temperatures already in the upper 80s over western Wisconsin. Milwaukee just shy of 90 right now. And look at the dew points. They're in the 70s pretty much statewide. So it feels like 94 in Milwaukee and La Crosse, feels like 87 degrees in Madison, and that's the heat that's just continuing to build. The jet stream shifting to the north, so that's taking most of the rain with it. The remnants of Barry making it into central Illinois, but again, the upper level winds are going to turn that more to the south and east. Just a little of that moisture could reach us sometime late tomorrow night into Wednesday to trigger a little better chance for a shower or thunderstorm, especially if this cold front can make it up at least into central or northern Wisconsin. The farther away it stays from us, the less the chances of rain. Temperatures right now already well into the 80s, a few 90s over Kansas, and you can see those dew point temperatures no matter where you go. Even to International Falls, Minnesota, their dew point is at 74 degrees. Our forecast for this afternoon, partly sunny, very warm and humid, high 89, just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm well north of Madison. Tonight, look for a low temperature of 69. Skies should become mostly clear. It'll be a muggy night. Tomorrow, hot and humid with a high of 90. Heat index 95 to 100. On future track, again, the best chances of any rain this afternoon will be well north of Madison. Tonight, we should stay dry with low temperatures in the upper 60s. Highs tomorrow around 90. Then maybe some of those thunderstorms reaching us tomorrow night. The 7 to 10 day forecast, again, alert days in the forecast all the way through Sunday, but maybe a break in the heat beginning late Saturday into Saturday night and Sunday as some thunderstorms roll through. That'll drop temperatures into the mid 80s next week, and then maybe a drop in the humidity by Tuesday and Wednesday. So first you drop the temperature, then the humidity. It's a small process, but it's a ways down the road yet.
Humidity's the killer. I mean, the temperature is bad enough, but
you add in the humidity, you're right, it is a killer.
Yeah, be careful. All right, Gary, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, Linda Bartz from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. The number to call, 270-9933. We'll get to your calls right after this.
WISC
Linda Bard from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. 270-9933, the number to call. Hello to you.
Hi, Mark.
This is kind of whether you want to be in the shade.
That's exactly what I brought today.
Shade plants.
If you want to do some gardening, I brought some plants that will tolerate shade, because who wants to be out in that full sun right now? And these are heuchera or coral bells, and they've been doing some really interesting breeding. You can get this chartreuse-colored citronelle, or we've got something that is two-tone here, one that's called marmalade, and then down front is one called black pearls. But there's lots of options. Yeah, here's black pearls, the really deep purple one.
And they look nice together.
They do look nice together. So if you go there and you go, oh, I can't decide what I like best, they're going to perform really well in shady conditions. This one actually really needs shade, or it's going to get really brown if it's out in too much sun.
The other ones are tolerant.
Yes, yes, they will perform in either condition.
All right, let's go to the phones. We'll start with Ray from Madison. Hi, Ray.
Hello.
Hi, what's your question?
My question is, I have Calabachoa in the mini petunias in planters on my patio, and they bloom beautifully for a while, but now they seem to be not blooming as much. Is there something I need to do to keep them ever blooming?
Well, with the amount of rain that we've been getting, that's one thing I want to caution people about, is the fertilizer, the nutrients that are in those containers, that's all been flushed out. So you're going to have to make sure that you water things to keep them blooming nicely. And remember to water them, because we haven't had to water hanging baskets.
And fertilize.
Yes, water and fertilize.
Okay, let's go to Janine in Boscobel. Hi, what's your question?
Hi. I purchased some little trees. They're the crabapple trees, and we got them planted, and we've been watering them. About 3 days after I planted them, I see the deer lopped off the top and eat the top leaves. Is there anything I can put on there or do?
Well, that's really a problem that they're eating them this time of the year, because they have lots of other things. But apples, that's sort of a sweet wood, so they'll actually even munch on that. So you may have to spray them with a repellent. There's several different kinds on the market that repels all, but you have to, after it rains, you have to reapply.
But there is a product you can use.
Yes.
Okay. Dawn in Madison. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, I'm calling because I was given a bleeding heart plant, and I was told to repot it, and so I repotted it in a clay pot, and I made sure it has good drainage, and when I do water it, it does have good drainage. But I have no more hearts on it, and I just still have the one stem that comes totally up, and a bunch of leaves, you know, the leaves that grow around it are coming up, but nothing else is happening.
Bleeding heart are not going to perform in a clay pot all the time.
Oh.
You should actually move that to a ground, in the ground, because they're going to perform much better. And there are different types of bleeding hearts. Some just bloom in the spring, and then they rest for the rest of the season. They are perennial. They'll come back next year in the ground. If you have it in clay pot, I don't know if it'll survive our winters. But there are some other bleeding hearts that Valentine is one of them, and then they bloom a little bit longer through the season, but it's a smaller plant.
Yeah, they're not a pot plant.
No.
All right. Dorothy in Richland Center. Hi, Dorothy.
My hostas are all going to flowering seeds already. Can you cut them off, or will it hurt it, or what?
No, you can cut off those flowers. A lot of people don't even like the purple flowers on a hosta, but there are some hosta that have beautiful white flowers that are very attractive. But once they get done blooming, cut those stalks off and just have the leaves.
All right.
Looks nicer.
Let's go to Angel in Dodgeville. Hi, what's your question?
I have a very large overgrown raspberry patch, and I'm wondering, is there a way to transplant some of them to another person's yard, and what's the best way to do it?
Okay, next spring it would probably be the best time to just dig up some of the canes that are growing. If they fruited this season, don't move those. Move the ones that are the primal canes. But you can do that before they leaf out, and get some of the roots with them, and they'll transplant quite well.
All right, let's go to Dennis in Portage. Hi, Dennis.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. My wife and I have several baskets that we transplant, or that we take to Texas, big geranium baskets. How often do we need to transplant those? I mean, we're going on probably 2 years on them.
Wow. You must love your geraniums. That's a lot of work. But if you're fertilizing these plants, that makes a difference. It's sort of based on when they get root bound. And the best way to do it is just to tip it out of the container, and well, unless it's if it's been in the same soil that long, you can tip it out. And you can see if it's really very dense roots, it's time to upsize it, go another inch or two larger container and do it that way.
All right, we're out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. Linda will talk to you off the air. We'll see you next time. Gary has one final check of the forecast.
Those temperatures are already in the lower 80s across southern Wisconsin. Here in Madison, we're at 83 degrees. Temperatures are in the upper 80s out toward the La Crosse area. Look for the possibility for a shower or thunderstorm north of Madison. Otherwise, highs in the upper 80s today.
All right, we'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.